My name's Caitlin Griffiths. I am a visual artist. I make a lot of video and performance work, and I involve a lot of other people in what I do. I'm much more interested in other people than I am in myself. For me, the work begins with a conversation. So I approach somebody that I'm interested in and I will ask them lots of questions about who they are, who they think they are, what they do, what they know. And it's from those exchanges, from those dialogues, that I start to build a sense of what the visual art outcome might be. Is that going to be a video piece? Is that going to be a performance? Is that going to be a written piece or a series of photographs or something else? But it always starts with a conversation, and I wouldn't say the work ends with the photograph or the video either. I feel like that tends to mark some kind of point in thinking, and then I go on from there. It's never ending. First question. Given the choice of anyone in the world, who would you want as a dinner guest?
I've thought long and hard about this in the past, and I find it quite difficult. I don't know if there's one specific person that I would always want to invite, but perhaps someone like the Queen.
So Love in Red and Blue came about, I think, for two reasons. There was a feeling of really wanting to build bridges and change something, because there was a lot of things that were making me hurt in the world. The world is going not in the right direction, and I was quite tired at the prospect of that work being on us individually, but also it kind of has to be on us individually. So that work came out of, what can I do? What can I realistically do? And one thing that I want to do and have a massive desire to do in the world is to love. I don't think I'm alone in that. And I kind of thought, could I love someone who had completely opposing political beliefs to me? And how would that change me? How would that transform me? And how would that transform the other person? It's a well-documented research process of falling in love. It's 36 questions to fall in love to. It's a study, a psychological study that Arthur Aaron came up with, an American psychologist, and it's well documented and well researched. But also I played with those questions, so those questions are slightly different. And we go through this process, and at the same time as going through those questions, I set up 3 different scenarios that are kind of like placebos, like a little environmental placebos, a way to accelerate our relationship. So the first setup is like a first date, the middle setup is like a formal dinner, maybe a proposal, and the last setup we're standing like we're at a wedding ceremony.
If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you regret not having told someone, and why haven't you told them yet?
I was really interested in how we build our own identities in our head, and how we do that from lots of different perspectives. So from a neuroscientist's point of view, a psychologist's point of view, and also from the point of view of like a writer who might write characters, or an impersonator who takes someone else's identity and performs it. I'm really interested in those kind of things. If you could change one thing in one person, what would it be, in who, and why? I have one of my very first pieces of work that I ever made as well, called Exchange, which is a business card exchange piece where I ask people to take one of my business cards and they leave one and they tell me who they are. And I have brand new photographic work as well, where I am performing as 2 characters, as Envy and as Narcissus. Being an artist is kind of a free pass to be interested in absolutely anything and not have to be an expert in it. So I can approach a lot of people who are very, very knowledgeable in their own subject area, and say, I'm an artist, I'm really interested in what you do, tell me more about it. It's kind of, yeah, it's a free pass, it's a key into everyone else's kind of world. What do I hope people will take away from the work? It's quite a hard question. I hope people get a sense of there's nothing that can't be solved. There's nothing that can't be solved just by talking. Like, just talk to people. You don't have to change people. You don't even have to understand people, but if you talk to each other, then you're already halfway to a solution, I think.